Welcome to Take a Look.
I'm gonna need your help.
We'll take a look into the new Disney live-action classic remake of Snow White.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
And while we're at it, we'll weigh in on our favorites.
So, what's your deal?
And if you can't feel pain, can you feel love?
Oh, sorry. It's fine.
Novocaine. We'll catch up with the star of this surprisingly full of feels action comedy.
How does it feel?
Speaking of feels,
This is my choice. I put myself here.
we'll take a deep dive into the humble beginnings and the career of Hollywood's current hot commodity,
An Uber what now?
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I don't think I want to hear that. Too late.
That and more as we take a look. There we go. Let's take a look. Thanks for watching. Hope you get a time to watch something on a big screen or a small screen. Lots going on in movie theaters. And so for that, I want to go to my friend who's going to tell us what to watch. She is an influencer. She is the daughter of Kim and Kanye. Not really. It's Natalie Franklin.
Hi.
All right. She is behind the Instagram account of Northwest called...
Nori's Black Book.
There you go. And you on Instagram are...
Natalie the Hero.
All right, so let's take a deep dive into it. I remember we were on the phone talking about what we're going to talk about this week, and you
Yes.
said, are we going to talk about the drama?
Yeah.
Let's lay it out there. Snow White, live adaptation. Problems?
The two actresses aren't quite getting along, allegedly.
Yeah.
So they haven't been doing a lot of press together. They haven't been seen together.
Right.
Disney has allegedly pulled back on doing press because of it.
Yeah.
And also, people are kind of freaked out by the dwarves.
Yeah.
The CGI is like not CGIing enough for people.
Well, that's where you jump into it because, like Peter Dinklage said, you know, we're not mythological characters. You can't represent us this
Yes.
way.
Yes.
And so they use CGI, right? And now all of the little people, and I believe that's what they do call themselves,
Yes.
whether you have dwarfism or whatever might be going on with you to make you diminutive, they're complaining that they need the work.
Yes. So Disney might have overcorrected in this space.
Yeah.
So that's something else people are talking about. But I did hear it's a good movie. At the
Yeah,
end of the
exactly.
day.
I'll jump in. You know what my opinion is on the drama behind it? I don't have the right to
Right,
say anything because
exactly.
the drama doesn't necessarily affect me. So Google it.
Exactly.
In the meantime, a lot of people got together to make a movie. I thought it was miraculous. I watched it with a bunch of kids who were seeing a movie for the first time. They loved it. I think you will too. Let's go behind the scenes now.
The original Snow White, it didn't break the mold, it created the mold. Somehow Walt Disney connects to something inside of us, a kind of childlike wonder and optimism.
There's so much from this animated movie that we have taken from and used in our own. A lot of it with the design of the costumes and the designs of the set pieces.
Action.
First day I was shooting, I was a little nervous because I'm doing something that is so iconic. All of a sudden, I'm the evil queen and I get to say that. Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? We started working on the different looks for the evil queen, and the amount of research that Sandy Powell, our costume designer, showed, it was like magic.
This is based on the original iconic look of the Evil Queen, and I think it's a really striking look.
It's a human.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
When you think about Snow White, there's so much iconography.
Your bickering won't fix a thing, so whistle while you work.
Its place in history is very specific and incredibly powerful, and we wanted to honor it.
Whistle while you work.
It's an absolutely beautiful homage to a film that continues to mean so much to people.
The story is fantastic. The music is incredible. And I can't wait for the world to see it.
Yeah, Disney magic.
I hope the issues behind it don't affect the box office. That movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Snow White's a classic story.
Exactly.
So how can you ruin Snow White?
The original won all kinds of Academy Awards, technical effects, like the very first plane camera. I don't know if you've ever seen the camera that they captured each frame, but it's like a 30-foot camera that captures each layer of the movie for the animation.
Wow, that's that Disney money.
Yeah, and speaking of Disney money, the Academy created 7 specific miniature Academy Awards to commemorate its Academy Award win for The Seven Dwarfs. All right, see it at your own risk. Your favorite Disney live-action adaptation, or are you against them altogether?
No. I like Aladdin. I really liked Aladdin.
Me too. Now, were you worried a little bit because, you know, what made the original was Robin Williams, so you're leaning on Will Smith to do the same for this?
Exactly. Love Will Smith, but Robin Williams as a genie is like irreplaceable. So I was nervous, but they did such a good job of making it almost exactly like they animated, and I appreciated that. And the songs were all great and original. They had a couple new songs.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they kept the same essence of Aladdin.
And Alan Menken won, I think, his 9th Academy Award for this. The guy is a master. I got to sit down with him, interview him, and I said, oh my God, you're sitting next to a piano, play a little something. What song's in your head right now? He said this.
Oh my God, this is so much. You know, we have the new rating for Whole New World. And A Whole New World, I get very emotional.
I started crying. You played 3 notes, and I started getting emotional here. Can you play something for us?
Sure. Well, help. Oh my. Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Let me take you on a journey down. You ain't never had a friend like me. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide?
So when you go to sleep at night, what's the song that's most likely going to be coursing through your head?
Whatever I've been working on that day.
Whatever you have?
Yeah, pretty much. I just get stuck in there.
An honor. Good
Okay,
to see you.
same here.
Cheers. Thank you.
Did you see how geeked out I was? Like, honestly, I was sobbing in front of someone doing that live.
It's just so crazy that people can just do that, just off the top of their head.
Exactly.
Just tickle the ivories like that.
I can play A Whole New World on my little finger.
Can you? Let me see. Like that.
That's all
How
I
did
got.
you even discover you know how to do that?
It's also why I failed algebra. All right, coming up next, a movie that I think you're going to dig or hate. Love it or hate it, it's still in theaters right now, and I'll tell you why you should see Novocaine. Are you saying yes or no?
I'm saying yes.
We'll take a deep dive into it with the star next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. Thanks for watching. And by the way, shout out to the people serving America all over the world, watching on AFN in 177 different countries and territories worldwide. Thank you. All right, Natalie Franklin on Instagram. Where do we find you?
Natalie the Hero.
There you go. What is Northwest up to these days?
Oh, man, she just did a brand deal for a hair company. Her parents are fighting about her being on a song with Diddy. It's a fun time for her right now.
Now, when the real deal does something, do you echo it on the fake Instagram page that you created?
Yeah, but in a comedic way that protects her and is a little lighthearted, no matter what's going on.
There you go. All right. Moving on, I guess we should talk about movies on the big screen right now. And this is why I'm celebrating Novocaine, because it's getting more and more rare that a movie like this exists on the big screen. It's got to be a Marvel film, a Star Wars film, or a big sequel. This movie's only going to be around to be seen on a big screen for another 2 weeks, and I think you should. Why do you think they should?
I think that's a great point. It gets people back in the theaters. You know, usually we're used to Hulu releases, Netflix, but this is a serious go to the theater and have a good time movie.
Absolutely. I loved Jack Quaid, loved him in The Boys. I thought he was going to be a breakout star when we first saw him in Hunger Games, and look at this. He is. We went behind the scenes and talked.
So, what's your deal?
My deal? I'm just a regular guy with a regular job.
Novocaine? It is you! I thought you'd be dead by now.
Well, I'm not. Nathan is, he's a big nerd, which I love about him. He's an extremely nice guy, and he's a bit lonely. He's found that he hasn't really connected with anyone romantically in his life ever, and you know, he's realizing that he never really quite found that special someone. I've got this condition where I don't feel pain. Hey, there we go. So Nathan has a condition called CIPA, congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis. And basically what that means is that it affects his nervous system and makes it so he can't feel pain or hot or cold. What I love about it is that he's not a great fighter. He doesn't really know how to fight, but he can get his butt kicked and get up every single time, no matter how many punches they throw at him. No matter how hard they punch him, he doesn't feel it. So he gets up every single time. And I love playing Nathan for that reason. I love the fact that he's an unlikely action hero. He's not the guy dealing out the punches, he's the guy getting hit.
What happened to your face?
You should see the other guy. I'm really excited for audiences to see the very specific tone that we're going for with this. I love that Nate is a very positive character, ultimately. I like that he's, in a way, happy-go-lucky, despite all of the horrific stuff that happens to him. I love that it's a romance. I love that it's an action movie. I love that it's a comedy. It blends all these genres in a really cool, unique way that I've never really seen before. So I hope audiences enjoy that. It's going to be a wild ride, and I'm just excited to hear the reactions in the theater, because obviously, like, hopefully there'll be laughter and all that, but it's also going to be coupled with like screaming and whatever this noise is. Ah! And that's what I hope people do.
Oh my God, what am I doing?
I love that he made the cringe face. I'm making the cringe face during half the movie.
Yeah.
What's the cringiest scene for you?
No.
I think right there, they showed it in the trailer when he sticks his hand in the frying vat and the aftermath of what it did to his hand, and he didn't even feel it.
The whole thing is cringy. I don't know how you cannot watch this and not be like, ugh.
If you had the ability to turn off feelings, but you couldn't bring them back ever again for the rest of your life, would you?
I would say yes, even though it's probably not the best decision, but I don't want to feel when I stub my toe anymore or hit my funny bone, so.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you'd probably want to know if you were in fact burning yourself on something hot, so.
If the arm is broken,
Exactly.
might be good information.
It does have its issues. Thus the movie. Check it out. I love Jack Quaid in it. He said in there that his character is kind of the everyman. Jack Quaid's kind of that guy. He's like Tom Hanks for this century.
Yeah, he's like an everyday Joe, but he's also really kind of tough.
That's right. Go see Novocaine on the big screen. Speaking of screens, now on the small screen, we say just the opposite. See Wicked again at home. We'll tell you why we're going to take another look at Wicked with its director next. Hey, welcome back. It's Take a Look. We're talking about stuff always on the big screens or small screens, and right now we're back to the small screens. You know, it wasn't that long ago I said, go see Wicked on the biggest screen possible before it leaves theaters. Did you see it in IMAX?
I did. I'm waiting for part 2 to come out so I can just do one sweep.
Yeah.
And then be done with it.
It's still on a few screens, and it's going to go back to being on screens right before part 2 comes out. In the meantime, what's your favorite song from it?
I like Popular, personally.
Popular.
Yes, exactly.
I like saying popular. Yeah.
Exactly.
And what's the big number in the movie?
Defying Gravity.
Yeah, that's the big crescendo. That's why she
Exactly.
won the Academy, or nominated for the Academy Award.
Robbed.
Which she was robbed of. Should have won.
Robbed.
Shame on you, Motion Picture Academy. Can you sing that big number at the end?
Yeah. Wait.
Hey!
Can you
That
do
is
it?
awesome. I wish you were on camera when you did that. Do it again. That's awesome. You want me to do it?
Yes, please.
I'm not gonna.
I can't
but
be
I did,
alone.
I caught up with John Chu. He's not gonna do it either, but he did talk about that moment. Look.
No stranger to big sets. Like, you are probably the preeminent person that's doing it practically on the
Yes.
day. With that said, is there a particular moment where you went back to childhood and said, oh my gosh, I wish the 8-year-old me could see this?
I mean, every day was like that. I walked onto Munchkinland, and you're on the yellow brick road, and you can't believe that this is your yellow brick road, and you see Galinda and her bubble on the thing, and there's hundreds and hundreds of extras. You can walk into any building there. Emerald City, walking down, we have a 60-ton train that we actually have that runs on a track, and you're walking in, and we had like 7'7" people, we had 3'3" people. Like, it was like this beautiful collection of people, and the life and the ambition of Emerald City with cobblestones and dancers. I mean, it was unlike anything I had ever been a part of before.
I mean, you pays off beautifully. You know, people lean into the musical largely because they love The Wiz, or they love The Wizard of Oz, or they love the books even.
Yeah.
So you have all these different fans coming. They all want to be pleased.
Oh, yeah.
How do you please them all and also get the John Vision in there?
You can't please them all. But I knew what I felt like when I watched Wicked for the first time before it went on to Broadway. I saw it with my mom in San Francisco when they were workshopping it. And I remember being blown away by it. I remember what it felt like to be reminded of, oh wait, that's from The Wizard of Oz. Oh, that's so clever. Oh, that's a... And I remember what it felt like to see those two girls, Elphaba and Galinda, and fall in love with that relationship. And so I knew that if I could protect those things and use those tools of cinema to expand the rest, then we would have something really interesting here.
And you mentioned Elphaba, Glinda. It starts with them. Casting is key.
Yep.
How excited were you? Well, I mean, because I've just asked your two actresses, who, by the way, say you are the perfect director.
That's very nice.
How excited were you conversely? Like, what would your social media have looked like had you posted the moment you locked them?
I'm really glad we found each other. We couldn't have made this movie without the two of them. We wouldn't have made this movie if you couldn't find those two, like very specifically at this moment.
If there were one screen grab that represents the moment in time in this movie where it exceeded your expectations.
Exceeded the expectation? I mean, it's a simple one. It's not like a big flashy moment. It's the moment she puts on the cape on her, and there's the perfect circle, but there's the cracks in the windows, so the O's and the Z's, and what Elphaba does in Oz is bring these cracks and sharp angles, and it's the two ladies, and there's the broomstick in between, and she's like, come with me. And Galinda can't go with her, and she can't say that she's not going with her. And that moment, the look between the two when they realize that they're gonna not be together, is heartbreaking for me, and is what we built this whole movie around.
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
Such a beautiful moment. At the time of that interview, I reached in and I said, congratulations in advance. I'm one of the co-founders of the Broadcast Film Critics, the Critics' Choice Awards. I said, you're going to win. And he won the Critics' Choice Awards. And then at the Critics' Choice Awards, afterwards, I said, you won it. And I said, you know what? You're going to go on to win the Academy Award. And I shook his hand. And you want to know what?
What?
Yeah, he didn't win that.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out for it. He was robbed, though.
Yes.
Critics'
We
Choice,
agree.
we're smarter people.
Part 2, he'll get it on part 2.
All right, sing Popular again. A little bit of that.
Popular, you're gonna be popular.
All right, and I'll do the other one. No other wizard there ever is or was is gonna bring me down.
You're in the right profession.
Yeah, hey, catch us at Fresno Community Center this weekend doing Wicked. It's going to be really awesome. All right, I swear to you, we won't sing anymore. Go get yourself a snack or anything you need to do. Maybe take some meds after we just did that. And when we come back, we're going to celebrate all things Timothée Chalamet. Then and now, Timothée Chalamet next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. My name is Mark S. Allen. Find me on Instagram at TV Mark S. Allen. If you're new, I try to bring people in to talk about movies that give a different perspective. There's a fake Instagram account for Northwest. It's called Nori's Black Book.
Yes.
And you created that.
I did.
You're an influencer.
I am.
What's the last thing you influenced people to do?
I influenced them to watch Take a Look.
Okay, thank you. Whether you're lying or not, I really appreciate the sentiment. All right, we were talking about Timothée Chalamet during the break, and I'm a huge fan. Relatively new adapter. You, however, said, you don't hate.
I just don't understand why people think he's hot. And Gwyneth Paltrow said it best. He's the thinking man sex symbol.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with her on that. Like, he's not hot, but he is very charismatic. He has a lot of charisma.
He is the it guy in Hollywood, and it follows 4 phases that I'll talk about in just a little bit. But there is nothing that he has lent himself to that hasn't been just truly, truly great. And I remember back in the day when he first came on the scene, he had done 2 or 3 movies. People still really weren't talking about him. Nobody knew him. I went to interview Steve Carell, and suddenly he was paired with this kid no one knew named Timothée Chalamet. And I really wasn't happy that the kid was talking. I was like, kid, shut up so I can talk to Steve Carell. Right. Now, if I was doing it, Steve, shut up so I can talk to Timothée Chalamet.
Exactly.
Anyway, Beautiful Boy is a beautiful, hard-to-watch movie. We talked about that. Take a look. So 99% of making a movie is waiting around to shoot the movie. So what are you guys doing during the downtime? What did you two talk about?
We talked about everything. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to speak for for Timothy, but I think we got along pretty well, like
Yeah?
the entire time. Yeah.
Mutual worship taking place. I loved you in Lady Bird. I loved you in The Office.
No, well, I hadn't really been. I mean, I'm sure about Law and Order episode I did when I was 13, but like, no, I feel like I had to go through the experience of like, okay, let's put a lid. But you know what? I was really helped in that I guess we were playing father-son, so there's kind of an intimacy there that is required almost immediately. But Steve is like such a great human and professional, and God, the number of things I would like observe from the way you carry yourself on set that I do now, like on things that I've taken really and I've stolen and.
Well, I felt exactly the same way. He is the epitome of a decent guy. It's impossible to not like him.
The decency on this side of the room is. I gotta be honest. Good to see you too. Thank you.
Yeah, he is a good guy. I've always enjoyed talking to him, and it seems to have a good head on his shoulder. He crushed it on Saturday Night Live. If you haven't seen that,
He's dating Kylie Jenner.
Yeah. Now I don't know why she was sometimes seated next to him and then sometimes gone. Like, was she getting snacks? Was she getting like milk duds?
I think his mom was there, so they were like switching seats.
Oh, okay.
Then, as you know, they have seat fillers,
Right.
and it's just.
I've interviewed him 8 times. Ask me if there's going to be a 9th time.
Will there be a 9th?
I don't know. I don't know if you saw the Academy Awards, but this happened. I wasn't going to let him pass me up. I reached out, I grabbed him. I wasn't going to let go. You can kind of see me holding him longer than he wants to be there. He yanks himself away from me. And his publicist said, "Who was that guy? He's never talking to that guy again." There are 4 stages in a career, and it doesn't matter whether it's Tom Cruise or Harrison Ford. It's who's Timothy Chalamet? Give me Timothy Chalamet. Give me a younger Timothy Chalamet.
Right.
Who's Timothy Chalamet?
Right.
He's currently on the Get Me Timothy Chalamet saga of his career.
Absolutely.
That's the chapter that's going down right now.
Absolutely.
All right, he won me over. I've always liked him, but when I saw how good he was comedically on SNL, that guy, he's got the goods. I think that kid's going to go somewhere.
He's a theater kid, of course.
Exactly. And he's young enough to win the Academy Award down the road. All right, once again, on Instagram, we find you.
Natalie the Hero.
I'm at TV Marcus Allen. You have yourself a good one. On YouTube, be sure and like and subscribe and go do stuff. See ya. Right on.